am having, Mac.
Sonic X is one of my favorite series about the titular character. Out of all of the many shows the series has had over time, I would say that X nails the characterizations. Sonic X has an understanding of the characters better than any of the other Sonic series, and it's for that reason it's so near and dear to me. Although, I must acknowledge that Sonic X was my basic introduction to the franchise. I found out who Sonic was because of the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. My first Sonic game was the PlayStation 2 version of Sonic Heroes that I got at Dave & Buster's when I was a kid. While these were great experiences, it was what followed that would really set my near 16-year fandom into motion. And that was none other than my viewing of Sonic X. This show taught me the events of the series, the dynamics between the characters, and so much more in a digestible manner. A lot of people clown the 4Kids dub of the series and insist I watch the sub. I'm sure the sub is great, I firmly believe that it is actually. However, I'm actually perfectly fine with the dub. I like the dub. The dub is very fun for me to watch, and even to this very day. In any case, I want to make this clear. Even though this is a series I find much enjoyment in, I don't think it's perfect. Nothing really is. That said though, Sonic X has its fair share of boring or even bad episodes, but in order to have the bad, you've gotta have the good, and Sonic X has a lot of episodes that'll remind you why this character is just so cool. And while there are a lot of episodes that I would say are really great to watch, there is one that truly stuck out to me as the absolute best. Sonic X Season 2 Episode 52, A New Start. What makes this season finale so great is that, to be honest, they could have finished the show right here. It closes so many character arcs, the Sonic characters are finally back on their home planet, and there is not much more to be said. But for me, it goes so much deeper than this simple analysis of why this episode is just so amazing. The character dynamics, the character development, the tying of loose ends, everything I would want to see is all there, and it's stellar. What separates this episode from the rest of the ones in the series is that rather than focusing on Sonic, it focuses not on a particular human character like Chris, but instead on Sonic's closest friends, enemies, and allies. Tails, Amy, Knuckles, Rouge, Cream, and Eggman are given the spotlight in this episode, and because they take the center, you get to see how the actions of Chris in the previous episode have affected them all and how they have to deal with it. For them, Sonic has been gone for days with no sign of return, and every character is concerned. Of course, some more than others. That aside, Sonic's absence is felt among the characters, but as a viewer, every moment is so captivating that in truth, he doesn't need to be there. The chemistry these characters have with one another is best displayed in this episode. Like I said in the introduction of this video, one of the biggest reasons why I praise Sonic X is because of its phenomenal portrayal of its characters, and I believe episode 52 is its best display. Through the actions, inactions, and interactions between these characters, the episode provides a dazzling display of comedy, action, suspense, and romance. This episode has got something for everybody, and it's firing from all cylinders. I love seeing the interaction between Knuckles and Rouge. The two characters spend the entire episode debating on why Sonic isn't here yet, and because of Knuckles' arrogance, the two get into a comical physical altercation. On the other hand, you have characters like Amy, who are noticeably saddened by the absence of Sonic. Throughout this episode, Cream, Cheese, and Vanilla attempt to comfort her as they offer her hospitality and allow her to stay at their place so Amy isn't alone. Eggman is also sad about Sonic's not being here, but he expresses it in a much different way. As opposed to crying, he resides in a state of denial. He is so sure that even though he hasn't actually seen Sonic, he believes that there is no chance that Sonic would allow his greatest enemy to be left to his own devices. So Eggman takes out his frustrations on anybody who will listen. That would include Amy and later on Tails, who gives us a wonderful moment of not just character development, but also the perfect ending between the relationship with him and Chuck. This was a nice conclusion for me. I really liked Chuck. I thought he was the best ex-original human character in the entirety of the show, and to see how much he thought of Tails and their friendship was heartwarming. Of course, Tails had to agree after seeing the modifications made on his tornado. Anyway, Tails goes on to fight Eggman in the wee hours of the night and actually almost loses. But lo and behold, Super Sonic. Sonic finally shows up and completely decimates his archenemy, but for once, this was a satisfying conclusion for all parties involved. Not only was Eggman afraid he would accidentally kill Tails, leaving him with virtually no one to do battle with, but also he was, for lack of a better word, happy to have his nemesis resurface. Knuckles and Rouge stop fighting and even share a good laugh. This is a happy ending. I think my favorite part of the episode would have to be what followed soon after. Sonic gets a chance to reconnect with Amy, and it is truly the best moment I've seen between these two characters ever. Sign Amy fan or not, you have to agree that this moment was very in character for both of them. Sonic essentially promises to not make Amy worry ever again by disappearing, and Amy crying her heart out in relief that Sonic is finally back. Right here, this is the moment where I think the episode could have easily ended. This is a great season finale, but it could have served an excellent series finale. Everything was finished. Sonic X did not need a season 3. Did the show benefit from it? Absolutely, and I'm tremendously glad we have it. But if the show stopped at this very moment, it had done its job. It checked all the boxes in just one episode of what makes a great Sonic show. With the time skip, it closes some character arcs for the X original characters as well. We see a more mature Chris, and his friends are older and wiser as well. Of course, we know Chris decides to use the portal to go to Sonic's world, but even then, I liked him so much better in Season 3 as opposed to the other seasons prior because he is written a bit differently. Rather than being a defenseless kid, he's much more competent and reliable, but that's beside the point. This episode handles its characters better than anything I've ever seen before, and that's exactly why I needed to talk about it. But what do you guys think? Do you like this episode? Would you say it's the best Sonic X episode? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also, while you're at it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe on this video if you enjoyed it. It goes a super long way and I would really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. This is Sonic signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?